Morning, I'm Dave from WyeMTB. We're at guided rides across Wales and coaching courses in the Forest Dean. Today we're going to have a look at the bike and go through the systematic check to make sure there's nothing wrong with it before we go out on our mountain bike guided ride or a coaching session. This check that we're going to run through is something that you could do once you get your car out of your car, once you get your bike out of your car or your van. In a systematic, so the idea is you're going to follow a system so you're not going to miss anything. So here we go, standard mountain bike, 2 wheels, saddle, pedals, cranks, handlebars. There's loads of components to worry about, so rather than missing something critical, we're going to follow a systematic approach. The mountain bike industry, we work on something called the M check. So the idea is take the M, superimposes on your bike, up and down. And what we do, if you follow the M, you're going to check each part of that bike properly. So let's go to the front of the bike. Okay, so the front of the bike, first thing we're going to do, top of the M, we're going to give our tyres a push. Yeah. Then we're going to look round the tyre wall on both sides to make sure there's no cracks or rips. We're going to come to our spokes. Use the back of our hands, each spoke should sound the same. We're looking for any that might be loose. We're going to grab hold of our disc rotor, give it a little wobble, that should move. And while we're here, we're going to grab hold of our brakes and give them a wobble. If you're confident, have a look at the brake pads. We're looking to see that there's resin between the brake itself and also the spacer that holds the brake pads apart. At this point, we're going to give the wheel a quick spin, drop it, and give the bike a bit of a wobble. Yeah. From here, oh my God, we're going to come up the M to our controls of our bike. We're going to come to our headset. So to check our headset, we're going to turn the handlebars to the right, apply the front brake, hardest bit of the day, 2 fingers, going to rock the bike back and forth. If there's movement in this area here, it means the star nut is loose, that needs to be done up. As soon as you check your star nut, you need to come to the front of the bike, grab hold of it between your legs with your handlebars. You're going to push from side to side. If your star nut's done up tight, it might hide that your stem bolts are undone. So if you fall off, handlebars all go skewy. While you're at the top, we're going to check our controls. So come across, brakes, front and back, appear to work. Our levers are in the right place. Really important one, have we got bar end plugs? Been a very nasty incident where that has gone into a thigh called apple coring, which you don't want to see. That comes to the front. So we've come up the M, and now we're going to go down the M. Come down the M. Quite an important part if you're riding a carbon bike or any other type of bike. You want to check that the frame has no cracks or breaks. So a good visual look. You want to make sure that you've washed your bike. I haven't been washing mine, I've been enjoying the dry trails. Look on both sides of the bike at the frame. Make sure there's no cracks, nothing's loose. Suspension. You're going to come to your pedals. We're riding some of these lovely Burtec composite ones at the moment. It'll rock from side to side, run it backwards. That side is fine of the crank arm. You're going to come to the other side. At this point, we're going to grab hold of the crank arm and just looking to see if there's any movement in the bottom bracket. If there is, it's not a massive problem. It's not going to affect the ride on the day, but it does form part of that. I need to get it fixed within the next couple of months. Yeah. So I've checked the crank arms on both sides, and we're going to come up. You've got a dropper post. Drop it down. Does it come up? Give it a wobble. Feels all pretty secure. I've got suspension on this bike, so I'm going to give it a quick test. Oh, it goes up and down. Result. So M check. Up, down, back up. So you're going to come up the bike, and now we're going to come down to the back of the M. So again, we're looking at the frame, the rear mech. Is it moving? We're going to look at the tyre wall. So this is the outside. No cracks or rips. We're going to do it on both sides. We're going to check the spokes with our hands. They should all sound the same. The wheels spin. have a look at the brake pads, look at the brake block. It's all there. Give the wheel a bit of a wobble. Loose a little bit. We didn't check it on the front of the bike because we've got a special through axle. But if you're riding quick release, your quick release should be facing the sky, facing down the back of the bike, or at least tucked into the bike. It shouldn't be hanging out. So give that open, give it a push. We should see an indent in our hands. Next part of the bike we're going to check, which I see people miss quite a lot, is the limiter screws. So how far my derailleur can move. So the first point is, can it go to the top of the cassette? And when I'm pedaling the bike and I click my derailleur, it doesn't fall off into this gap here. Yep. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down the cassette. At this point I'm not putting any pressure through the drive chain. So if it did drop off the chain, so if it did drop off the cassette, it's not going to be catastrophic. So now I'm in the bottom sprocket, give one more push, I'm looking to see if the derailleur is going to move. If the derailleur moves towards the inside of the bike, that is a limiter screw problem, and that means you just need to come to the back of your derailleur and have a play with that. We are going to do a video on limiter screws and derailleurs, so keep an eye out for that. But as it stands, if that derailleur is going to move onto the inside of the bike, when you're pedaling on the trail, it drops off there, you have catastrophic failure, as in the derailleur will get caught, ripped up, and it'll be knackered. So that's an M check. There we go, the systematic approach to checking these bikes. In the industry we'd call it the M check, and the idea is to pick up any small problems in the car park before you go out into the trail, and you can fix them there rather than have to worry about them out in the wilderness. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. We've got some other videos on our how-to series. First one we did was how to fit a helmet. This is going to be our M check. We are going to move on to what we're going to carry as a rider, also what we're going to carry as a guide, and we are going to do some trailside fixes that we see commonly needing attention while out on your bike. So give us a thumbs up. Thanks again for WyeMTB.